so grateful for, and Abigail, Brother Carter, is that we got a bad
in a good way. Okay.
We just do what we got to do till we get it right.
Bad as in horrible or bad as in good?
Bad as in good. I love how you guys just stick with it. It doesn't matter. You guys are going to figure it out. So not everybody got a team like we have. So good morning. How are you doing this morning?
We're doing
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want to talk to her?
You can talk.
We're sharing a mic.
Y'all sharing a mic this
and
morning.
A camera.
And a camera.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. That's why I see both of y'all this morning.
Hi. I don't know. Can you see Abby?
All right.
Might be stealing her shine.
And look, Jacob, do not take all of Abby's shine this morning.
She's so absorbent.
I know. Where's Brother Carter at?
Brother Carter?
He's sitting back there in the corner just chilling.
He's chilling in the corner.
Relegated to the corner.
He's in that corner right now.
Chilling.
Oh, okay, then. Well, today is Raise the Praise radio station.
Telethon.
Radiothon.
Even better.
Yeah.
Radiothon. So today, all day today, y'all going to be having.
We're going to be celebrating.
We're going to be having guests coming on. But right now, we're getting ready to have the Love and Victory show. And guess what we're going to be talking about? Cuffing season. Cuffing season.
Boy.
Cuffing season.
Cuffing? You talking about putting handcuffs on?
In a way.
Metaphorically. We're going to be cuffed. You know what? When y'all said y'all wanted to do a show about cuffing season, I was like, what's that? So I said, okay, I'm going to roll with y'all. Give them a little bit about cuffing season. What is cuffing season all about to you, Jacob?
You're going to start with me?
I'm going to start with you, Jacob. What is it to you?
Well, I've never been in a situation where I got to participate in the season.
You haven't cuffed yet?
No, I mean...
Have you? Okay, your mama's listening right now.
She might be listening.
Okay.
I hadn't... That wasn't on my mind, but now it is.
It's on your mind. Okay.
Now you have to be extra careful.
My most recent relationship was long distance.
Okay,
so I would have killed for
some cuffing.
For some cuffing.
Okay. So
I mean, even 100-foot rope that we were tied together. Something.
Okay.
Anything would have been better.
Okay. What about you, Abigail?
I'm all for cuffing season. I'm a lover, and I like to come holidays, and it gets nice and chilly. It's all about cuffing season.
Okay, so when it's not holiday season, you don't cuff?
No, I cuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, but it's extremely important during the winter season, I believe.
That's right.
Cuffing is a cuffing season, is what you're saying, right?
Oh.
And so when you're saying cuffing season, that means it's kind of chilly outside, and then you want
your
to
little
just
boo thing.
So I thought cuffing was like handcuffs, maybe a bear or
you can cuff with a baby teddy bear too. You can do
cuff
that.
with a teddy bear?
Yeah.
But that's not what we talking about today.
People cuff with their dogs.
Okay. Well, we're not talking about cuffing with a dog.
I think it's metaphorical.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But we're gonna get down with the cuffing.
It's not, I know this is a gospel radio station and
but
everything
it's grown,
like that, but it's grown. Yeah. But cuff can go in a lot of different ways. And so you don't want to just minimize it to just cuffing as two people cuffing, having a sexual type of, cuffing comes in many different ways and formats. And so this is the cuffing season, and that's what we're going to be talking about today.
Oh, okay. Then, well, we have some great guests coming on today to have this conversation. They're coming back by popular demand.
Mm-hmm.
Every third Saturday of the month, we have Tiffany Washington, all the way from Little Rock, Arkansas.
Hey, good morning, Tiffany. I know you're listening.
We know you're listening because you're en route here. And we have Steph. Who we have?
We have Stephanie and we have Tiffany.
Yes.
Steph, you know who Steph is.
Y'all know who Steph is. Let me tell y'all, if y'all don't know, when she walked through the door, you're going to know her.
It's instantaneous energy.
She's going to bring y'all that energy, going to bring y'all that fire. She's going to bring it this morning. All right, Jacob, I'm coming back to you.
Okay.
Okay, well, what else you got for people this morning?
Well, we have some great through the grapevine stories with some supplemental visual aids in the way of videos.
Oh,
So
Okay,
I am
since
excited
we're a little
about
bit
that.
behind, let's just go and give
So
it to 'em.
before you go there,
Before we
let
go,
me
Brother Prophet,
take an opportunity to just uh, apologize to the listeners and the viewers out there. We had some technical difficulty early this morning, and we wasn't able to start the show on time. We're still on time, like that old saying said, "On time, God." Yes, He is, but yes, He may not come when you want Him, but He'll be there
right on time.
So we're right on time, okay, with the radio station. Welcome to the Love and Victory Show with Val. We're on Raise to Praise 100 radio station this morning. We're so grateful for them. Raise to Praise 100 radio station is the one radio station, amen, in America today. We have won the Spin Awards, and we are doing a radiothon today. In efforts to keep this radio station, amen, alive. Okay, so we want you guys, not right now, we want you guys to stay here on YouTube right now, but later on today, I want you guys to be able to go into the raisetopraise.com radio station, and because we want to do some things, some fundraising things to keep this radio station alive, amen. So bear with us today as we go through our show, but again, later on today, I guess I initial 10 or something like that, we want you guys to tune in to Raise to 100 radio station. Amen.
Right at 10 o'clock.
All right.
Then.
So without further ado, we're going to turn the mic over to my main man, Jacob. What's your last name, Jacob?
Payne.
Payne.
That's all right. A little anticlimactic. We were on the edge of our seats.
All right, what you got for
And
us?
I can't think of a worse segue, but here we go. A Texas teacher is on leave after saying white people are the superior race.
You know what? This is what I'm telling y'all. And see, y'all see, I got, you see, they're of the
people of darker persuasion.
They are the persuasion, and they're going to bring the right smoke up in here. Go on, break that down.
Yeah, we're going to smoke this.
Okay, come on.
So a Texas teacher has been placed on leave after a shocking video emerged of him saying he believes that white people are the superior race. And we do have a video complete with disclaimer ready to go.
And see, and I don't like disclaiming, because we are the superior people, you know.
Ooh.
Us white folks.
Y'all see what we got to deal with over here?
I don't know if I can sign off on that.
Don't sign off. Don't sign it. Jacob, please put that disclaimer.
That's been said for many centuries.
Yeah.
You know,
it's not a new idea.
No, it's not nothing new. But continue.
Let's play the video.
Copyright disclaimer under Section 107.
There's going to be a lot of commentary.
Let's do both.
Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
Deep down in my heart, I'm ethnocentric, which means I think my race is the superior one.
Oh, I didn't say it.
Wait, no, let me finish.
Hey, look. So, white is better than all.
No, let me finish. You
Go ahead. Hey.
I think everybody thinks that, they're just not honest about
Hey,
it.
I'm not racist though. I like all types of kinds.
Did I say I don't like people?
People only think that.
Wait, so you said you are what? You are racist?
You saying you're like
You're
I
racist?
think everybody's a racist at that level.
No, you said you are racist. Correct?
I did. Yeah, I'm trying to be honest.
Yes, I'm racist.
No, I'm not saying it again. I've said it enough.
So you're racist. I think I slightly told you to stop speaking.
Yes, you said
Put your phone up.
I respected you.
I'm
I
putting your
actually
phone up.
respected you for a while, but like
I'm putting
now,
your phone up.
I don't even got no more respect for you.
Put it up.
Yeah, for real, I don't think I got respect for him no more, bro.
You know, you should have more respect.
Wow.
So, what do you say to these things?
Well, first of all, here's where I have a big problem at. Why is he on leave and not fired? See, here's the thing: we find things that another way of promoting the foolishness, because clearly that is enough, in my opinion, that he should be fired. This guy can still get.
Why should he be fired
Well, first of
for
all,
being true to himself?
well, okay,
I'm just giving you
okay,
another
I'm going to give
perspective.
you another
Okay.
perspective. Here's why I have an issue with it.
Okay.
It's the public school he's pouring into our kids. We live in the United States where we're all supposed to be created equal, right? This is what we say.
But it appeared to me that they were just having a he was just being
Who he
honest
was.
to who he was.
But it doesn't make it right. It does not.
Yeah.
My issue with that is, had I got up there spearing, okay, if that's the case, then why do we have an issue with Kanye? Why do we have an issue with Kanye West or even Kyrie? Where Kyrie just merely promoted a show, that movie that he saw, and he said, hey, go check it out. Because he put his opinion out there, he's being blasted by Jews, everybody else, including African, everybody else, because he said his opinion. They suspend him off to the team, well, fined him. This teacher still keeps his money, and he's suspended. It's right is right and wrong is wrong. Why? Because he's up here talking about white supremacy, prejudice, and it's okay.
Well, and I mean, there's a reason in schools you can't talk about religion. I mean, because everything's an opinion. And I was actually having this conversation with somebody the other day. I don't think anything in this world is black and white, right or wrong. I think everything has context, everything has perspective, everything has nuance to it. So, like you said, Brother Carter, like when you watch the video, it's not like he said anything outrageously, like he wasn't saying slurs or anything like that. But the fact of the matter is he's a teacher, and he has influence on these children. He's supposed to be guiding them and teaching. And he obviously has children that are African American in his class. So to sit there, like, you just don't know how that's going to, first of all, make them feel about themselves, about their culture, their identity.
But doesn't rappers have an influence on children as well, and saying all matters of?
Yeah, but that's not their job.
Okay. Here's
it is
thing.
their job.
No.
When you're an influence, when you have an influence over people, it's all the same. It doesn't matter if you're white, black, or indifferent.
But I don't look to Meg Thee Stallion to how to be a good person. I look to her for entertainment.
That's right. That's a difference.
Yeah, but that's a huge influence on the people today,
okay,
though.
Brother Carter, here's how I feel. I get what you're saying. However,
what am I saying?
This man has a influence on young.
And Donald Trump have influence over the whole world.
We don't like him either.
So he get to say what he want to say, and there's okay. We live in the United States of America. Okay.
Go with that. I'm so tired of people using that as
okay. We live in the United States of America.
Here, Jacob? You want us to find
in the United States of America, you ought to understandably understand that there are two different what's the word I'm looking for? Perspectives. Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Different perspectives of how things are viewed. So-called superior white people can get to say the freedom of what's the amendment is that? Amendment?
First Amendment.
First Amendment. You have the right to say whatever the hell you want to say if you're rich.
Okay.
I think you have the right to say whatever you want to say no matter who you are. You gotta face the consequences.
No. But there are no consequences for those, like we just seen the video. There are no consequences for him who is white to be able to say what he want to say to black children. Let me finish.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. and so when a black man or a black person get up and view his or her perspective, then it's viewed differently. You viewed as a black woman. You're just viewed as an angry black woman that's spewing out some anger issues.
Okay.
As a black man, they want to demise me as a black man because they don't want me to feel like I am as equal as the white man.
They don't want you to be superior.
No, I can't. That's why us white folk,
You know what? Not this morning, Brother Carter. Brother Carter.
I know my people at work and all that listening to the radio show this morning and all that kind of stuff. Y'all know I am Caucasian. And
Very much so. Y'all see
well,
y'all see? Okay,
all right.
We're gonna let Jacob get through this. So go ahead, Jacob.
Okay.
All right.
Let's go, Jacob.
So, we're moving on.
We're done with that.
All right.
All right, and we are back with the Love and Victory Show with Val.
All right.
Oh my God, this cuffing conversation is doing something to me. Now, I can cuff all I want to in this season, in the next season, fall, winter, spring, all them seasons, because I have a man that I can cuff with.
Mama, she got a man.
I got a man I can cuff with. You know, but cuffing is not just about getting and hooking up with somebody, because there are other things. Well, what else goes on? What else is cuffing? Because you gave a prayer this morning about cuffing with Jesus.
Yeah.
Cuffing with the Lord.
Falling in love with Jesus. Come on, Stephanie.
Falling in love, Jesus.
Come on, Carol. Come on.
Falling in love with Jesus was the best thing I've ever done.
All right.
Wait. You can't stop right there.
In his arms, I feel protected. In his arms, never. What is it?
Neglected, I guess.
Neglected. Sounds good. It was still the best thing we've ever done.
Let me tell y'all
It's
something.
the best thing, the best cuffing I ever done.
Yes.
It's with Jesus. So, amen. So, but we're talking about cuffing today, and I seen Lakeithia in my what do you call it? Peripheral.
Yes.
Yeah. I saw Lakeithia over there, aka yielding to the spirit in the building.
Don't try to run back over there. Come on over here. I want to get your perspective on cuffing. Can we have Miss Yielded?
I know she's not per se on air right now, but she's doing some stuff in the background.
I want her to take that mic right there. And
she's never out of season.
She's in season. Can you give us your perspective on cuffing? Are you cuffing today?
So typically I'm listening to the Love and Victory show early on a Saturday morning, but I was moving around. When I hear cuffing, I'm thinking, y'all talking about cuffing? Like booed up?
Cuffing.
Oh, okay. All right.
I know.
I was just trying to make sure before I get in here, I was, in the right vein. But yeah, cuffing. Y'all caught me off guard, man.
I know. Come on, man.
Cuffing.
What's your perspective?
I mean, it's kind of cold out there today, and it's raining. And
listen, I'm just gonna give you one little verse of one of the songs, like when it's cold outside,
Come on.
girl, who are you holding?
Yeah.
Listen, your pup is cool outside. That's all I got right now. Bless you.
Come on, Bobby. You know what? This is why I love Raise the Praise 100. Our family yielded. I don't care, in season, out of season, whenever I call, whenever I call in, she got something for us. But back to the cuffing.
Back to the cuffing conversation.
Yeah. So I'm gonna ask this question.
Let me see. I'm gonna get Abigail to give a question. I know she got a question on here somewhere. You got a question?
You want me to ask the question?
Yeah, you got a question in there somewhere.
Yeah.
She had a paper.
Second.
I didn't see it.
Well, you tell y'all on air, y'all got to go.
Okay, I was kind of in and out of here, so if y'all already asked this, you can tell me to shut up. We were talking about this the other day. They say talking and all this stuff. What are the different levels of relationships? And what stage do you think that the relationship becomes monogamous? It goes from just seeing each other, we can date around. What do you think is
to the cuffing stage?
Yeah, where does it go from we're just kind of doing our thing to we're doing our thing?
I see you over there thinking. Again, I'm different than everyone else. I'm selfish. I don't like to share.
There's a lot of people like you, so your perspective do matter.
Listen, I don't like to share.
Okay.
I don't like to share, and that's really what it is for me. I
So
mean,
you're selfish, huh?
oh yeah. Once you with me, I don't.
Okay.
That's it. What you talking to
Okay.
everybody else for?
Yeah.
First of all, I'm a firm believer in
Mhm.
there is no way I feel, and a lot of people disagree with me, y'all, that I can get to really get to know someone if I'm talking to 6 other people while I'm talking to you. You have so many different distractions that you can't even see this person clearly.
Right.
You don't know who they really are because, I mean, and then also too, even when people have disagreements, right? Other people will run and start talking to someone else instead of actually working through that.
Yeah.
So it's like you never graduate and go to the next levels of communication and getting to know someone, because when it gets just a little bit tough, we just run and we run to Susie.
Yeah.
So
Divorced, all that kind
of stuff. So that's, I mean, I don't know, when you talk about monogamous, honey, we gonna be monogamous
from the beginning.
When you ask me my name,
she don't believe in like a trial season, trial era.
I mean, I just that's me though. I just do one at a time. I
So
cannot do multiple people talking.
When the man come to you and for your name, what's your name, your phone number, blah blah blah, you give it to him.
You should be the only woman on his mind.
And then you saying, okay, we blind. I didn't give you my name.
I hear what she's saying. What she's saying, don't come to me and you got other significance that you're trying out.
Yes.
Well, you can
be available.
I got an opposite perspective. Okay, no, it's okay. That's okay.
It's okay. Go ahead. Yeah. I'm a person that likes to.
But what she was saying, okay, I'm gonna if I'm wrong, correct me. But she's saying when they come to her, she's saying don't come to her and you got a whole laundry list of other women you trying out.
Yes,
that's what you're saying. So I'm not gonna be a part of your cast.
Yes,
okay.
If you are yes, precisely.
I
think that's exactly what I mean.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Let's to the other perspective.
I think that's once it graduates to something more serious.
Mm-hmm.
But I actually participate when I was dating in what's called low stakes dating. So there's a conversation.
She gonna teach me something.
No, because maybe this is not everyone's perspective, but I feel like in the church world, a lot of women, the moment that they meet a man, they're like, God told me that was my husband.
Yes.
This person is my husband, because you're at a certain age and stage in your life where you're ready for that. And so you start to just believe that everyone is that you come into in contact with. And so I started doing what was called low stakes dating. And so there's a conversation that's had initially. I'm not, looking to necessarily meet my boyfriend in 2 days, but I would like to get to know this person on a level that's not so where there's no pressure. But then say we've gone on like 5 dates. Okay, now we can have another conversation to say, hey, do you feel like this is something that you want to pursue solely with just me? And it's like, if that person does, then cool. If that person doesn't, then now we're back to low stakes dating.
You have to figure out what you want to do.
Yes. And I think
You
having low stakes.
Low stakes dating.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not looking for my husband.
Okay, can you please? I'm with you on that. She said low stakes. Can you break low stakes down?
Yes.
Okay, can you break?
So when I'm doing something low stakes, I'm taking the pressure off of me. I'm taking the pressure off of that person. I'm not trying to make this person my potential spouse. I am going to get to know this person. I'm not trying to manipulate the conversation to get them to say the things that I want them to say so that I have that for recall to fall in love with them, be attached to somebody when truly I know nothing about them. How can I get into a monogamous relationship with you when I'm still talking to the representative? So we're keeping it low stakes. There's nothing to lose.
Y'all. Okay, so you said, because you're just talking to the representative at that time.
Right.
Yes. That is not even the.
Absolutely.
She ain't even got to the job yet. She ain't even met the boss yet.
Oh, she said representative. Hey, Tiffany.
No, you know what, Stephanie, what I just learned from her. First of all, there's several things I'm doing wrong. First of all, I don't even.
She just called herself out.
Listen, I like to learn. First of all, I know I'm not courting the right people. I'm not even courting is the first thing. I feel like I'm not making myself available to people to even like really, really date versus because me, I'm a person, I'm not going to say I don't like to be bothered, but I just, Okay, y'all know.
Okay.
But it's easy for me to get to know one person at a time. So when I say that, I don't necessarily mean this person has to be my boyfriend.
Absolutely.
But I can't deal with getting. I don't know how to manage getting to know several people at once. It's just not my personality.
Yes,
I think
absolutely.
And I think from that perspective, could it be that you're more guarded with that because of your past relationship?
Absolutely.
I think that's the content in which we really need to think about when we are talking about dating other people. Because if you have past trauma,
Yes.
you know, you look at relationships and dating and cuffing a little different.
Especially if you've wasted a lot of time of your life. Like myself, I wasted, I feel like 10 years at least. So now when it comes to dating, I don't like to waste a lot of time. I probably don't do enough to give people a chance.
Have you ever thought about seeking counseling? You know, we have someone over that you can go talk to.
I can't see nobody yet. give me December.
Almost
there. His friend.
Yes.
I'm going out.
Yes. You know, I think sometimes that until we deal with that past pain and trauma thing, it continues to show up in different ways. And I'm not here judging anything that you just said because I actually can understand where you're coming from. I understand where you're coming from. But I think when you don't deal with the things that hurt you in a relationship, because that formed who you are and how you view relationships, it shows up even in your present relationships.
Absolutely.
So I think you have to kind of deal with that.
And I totally agree with you, Valerie, because I think I shared with you once that I noticed that I keep running into the same spirit and personality over and over and over because I go back to what I'm comfortable with. And that spirit, it looks for me too. And it can tell like, ooh, you don't mind that. You don't mind settling a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And so it clings onto me. And you know what's so funny? When I try to let it go, it literally will run after me.
Absolutely.
And I mean like chase after
That's
me.
some good stuff you be smoking, girl.
What they got to do with anything?
I'm about to
They got a Little Rock out dog.
I'm about to get under this table.
Can I have some?
What am I gonna do with y'all, right? This is my children. I love you.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
But
This
I wanna
radio
learn how to
station is not
properly
responsible
date.
for the words that come out of Lawrence Carter's mouth.
We are not promoting anything.
I just want to learn how to properly date. I think Stephanie probably is someone that she sounds like she knows more of how to actually date someone versus me. And I'm cool.
Yeah.
You trying?
I'm just trying my best, you know?
Well, let's talk about where you are in dating right now. I'm going to turn Stephanie.
Yes.
Where are you? Well, where are you in dating?
What are you gonna say? Say it.
You know, first of all, I met this young man, oh my God, at my grand opening. And I knew instantaneously that was the guy for you. Please tell me I'm right.
I believe that that's the guy for me.
See,
he's so different than what the type of man I've been with in the past. I haven't been in a lot of relationships, but he's just so sweet. He's always looking to help me to advance. Like he never. If I tell him something like, "Hey," I told him I was thinking about starting a podcast. He's sending me all these links. Look into this. I was thinking about doing freelance stuff. Well, look into this. Look into this. And Fiverr, we could start you an account. And I got a podcast mic, and he's at my house trying to plug it in and figure out. He's testing all the stuff, and like he just is very intentional with the way that he continues to pursue me
and support you
and to support me. And I will say that my saboteur. So
who?
My saboteur.
And let's break down what that is. So for those, yes,
the part of me that wants to sabotage something good because you become afraid that this could potentially result in something being like essentially results in heartbreak. So your saboteur is the part of you that's always trying to come up to protect you. It's not necessarily that it doesn't want you to have good things, but it's that it doesn't want you to feel the pain that you failed. Yes, so it's necessary. My saboteur is coming up like, but what if? And I'm constantly having to challenge that and to just rest and
your
things can be
saboteurs is
good.
sabotaging what you can potentially
You gotta
have.
fight back. Yes. And I have to embrace her too and say, hey, I get why you're trying to protect me. Because we've gone through some
There you go.
Listen, heartbreak. I told my mentor was going through a heartbreak, and I told her, I said, I didn't know that you could actually feel this amount of pain and not be dying.
Yes, girl. That's what people don't understand. It's something so deep.
Yes.
And it really changes the fiber of who you are.
Oh, yes, it
does. And people want to just move on or they move on. It doesn't work like that. You got to deal with
Sit
it.
in it. You got to
dealing with stuff, dealing with it. Okay. So I got a question before we get in the show today.
We got a minute.
There's a difference between the times growing up in the 70s and the era we're in today. And back in the 70s and 80s, we didn't have the technology of today to be able to locate individuals and constantly call them and all these different things. I'm just wondering, is it more difficult today to get into the cuffing season knowing that when you got this technology you can call and he not answering or she not answering versus the time when we grew up when there was no telephone connection. I mean, only at the house. You only had the house phone. If you're not at home, you're not answering.
Right.
And so now you able to contact. I'm wondering if is the pain different. I'm start with you, Val. If you can express kind of how it was with you and growing up in that time.
Okay, I'm glad you asked the question. I want to say that even though we didn't have cell phones and the phones was at home, it still was painful for the woman when she called at home, when she expected you to be there and you weren't answering. It was painful for me. It was painful for me when there was an expectation that we were going to do something and then you didn't do it or you didn't follow up. That was painful. I think that still happens today. And when I think about how, yes, there is more technology as a way to connect with one another, but if a person, it doesn't matter about technology. If a person is not interested in you, or if a person doesn't want to be bothered with you, you can have a cell phone on you and want it. It's going to voicemail. If a person wants to, if they don't want to go out with you, they're not gonna. They're gonna go.
And so what I'm getting at is that back then, if like using us as an example, well, if you called me, my mama's house, and I wasn't there.
Or maybe you was there and they didn't answer.
Yeah,
they said you wasn't there.
I'm just trying to see that thing, or that hurt last versus years of being able to. Y'all can constantly call and he just constantly not answering, and so
I just said that it's still the same.
Yeah,
it's no different. An emotion and pain is a pain. Whether even when my mom, they didn't have phones. They didn't have phones. But I'm sure when she wanted to get to my dad and my dad was unavailable, that was pain. It doesn't matter about the technology. When we do something to hurt one another, that's why you have to be careful when you're entering into a relationship with someone. You have to be careful because you are responsible for whether you're going to place damage to a person or you're going to breathe life into that person. So playing around with someone, if you're going to be a boy by yourself. If you're going to be a man, then step up and be a man. If you're going to be a woman and respect yourself. Go ahead.
I just got one question. Sure. Listening to y'all, so you tell me it wasn't no way to keep up with him?
No.
What you mean? So you had to wait till he got home in order to talk to him?
Yeah.
I'm just saying it was a different time. See, y'all,
crazy.
And what I'm saying right now, y'all can constantly damage yourself because you continue.
Yeah, you can see if they ignoring you.
Continue, just trying to get in, and he's not letting you in.
But the damage is the same.
It is.
I agree with you. I agree with you. I agree with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just feel like the women back in the day.
I have to side with Mr. Carter on this.
What?
because like I always say, I agree with you, Tiffany, how you said you don't want somebody on your phone all the time. You can't deal with all the messages. You're getting to know 2, 3 different people. You don't owe anybody a response. Now, it's different. I'm in a relationship. I owe the person I'm in a relationship with a response. I owe the person I live with my mom. I owe her a response. But like, I remember when I was like dating around or whatever, I was like messaging with somebody, and he would get like mad when I wouldn't answer. But it wasn't giving me anything to answer, really. And then he was like, "Well, can we hang out? We haven't even had a solid conversation." He's like, "Well, you're not answering me. I don't owe you a response. Give me something worth responding to." You know what I mean?
I like this, sis.
Yes, I feel entitled to your time.
Yes.
Yeah, like I'm a pretty woman. I get lots of people's
Tell them
attention.
again.
Why don't he text you back?
Okay. Let's start right there. Know your value.
Yes. But again, no value is important, but you ask a question, is it the same pain?
Yeah. I was wondering, was the pain, I was wondering if the pain was any different, because if I couldn't get you, that would hurt me temporarily, I would believe, because I'm not constantly trying to get you. So that hurt wouldn't last as long.
I get what
you know what I'm saying.
I disagree. I think you just don't deal with it. Well, I'm just saying from a man perspective.
But I mean, growing up when we grew up, it's not like I can just keep on calling.
I get that from the calling perspective.
I get that's calling, what I'm talking about. I ain't talking about the hurt itself.
Right. I get it from the calling, but I do think in most cases, and men just turns y'all don't deal with it. If you can't get to me, I'm your boo. If the tables were reversed and you're wanting to get caught up, you want to get to me. Even back there in the day. And if you're calling my house, you've ridden by my house, you've come to my house. I could be on the inside of the house. But my mother or my sister saying she's not here, you want to get to me. That is devastating to you because you care about me. And that's something that's going to stay there with you until you do it. Because now,
I think it's more the insecurities that show up,
But insecurities don't show up.
I think it's more insecurity than the actual caring part.
I disagree. When you hurt me, because you know me, I love to be honest and truthful.
Yeah.
When you hurt me,
you was wondering if I was with somebody else, right?
Baby, when you did what you did, I knew exactly what you was doing.
And this radio station, this is live right here. This is Lonesome Bab live broadcasting right now.
But you just have to be honest. It hurt.
Yeah.
And it's no different than today. Yes, they have the technology to be able to text and do all of that and see what's going on. But that pain is still that pain.
Yeah.
It's real.
The pain is real.
So
I was just wanted to elaborate on the difference between the time zones, because we got older people listening to the show versus younger people listening to the show. And so older people have different of dealing with connecting, should I say.
Yeah.
Versus the younger people, they can do a constant connection. You want to chime in on it?
And okay, so with you all's back in the 70s, did you all have beepers?
That's what I was.
That came in the 80s.
Oh wow. Well, we first of all, that was for a drug dealer. We couldn't do that.
Yeah. that was only doctors had those.
That was doctors and
doctors
and drug dealers. So if I see you with I wish you would say beat me. Beat me. What?
Yeah,
I feel like
we had to pull over at the payphone on the corner and make a phone call.
I do want to add one thing though. You know what though? I feel like y'all's time was better because I feel like we have been trained and conditioned that we're supposed to be able to reach a person 24/7. Whereas you guys were able to live your life. I don't mean necessarily you know, it's like, hey,
I can keep going.
I can get to you when I get to you, but you don't have to be my whole life. Whereas we got people now in our
Yeah.
generation,
They're
if they
entitled.
see you active on Facebook and you haven't responded to a text message, they ready to throw their whole relationship away.
And that's what I'm getting at right there. That's
so
what I'm
I feel like y'all's timing was better because we kind of our generation.
It was just a different time. I ain't gonna say it was better because like Val said,
I guess y'all were rejected in different ways.
The pain was still real, you know. Yes. And the rejection was still there, you know. So and you had to deal with those emotions at all times, just like you do today. But I'm just saying today, you constantly
right there.
Yeah, it's constant just of one's own self. When you study trying to get
that's true. And you're actually just repeating the trauma over and over and over. I agree with you on that. But again, the pain.
Don't say the recorder wasn't saying something that was real. I mean, shoot.
Okay, I'm coming to Miss Stephanie over here. Yes. Okay, Miss Stephanie. The question that was raised. Now, actually, I'm going to ask another question. How do you deal with the trauma of the past when you're looking to date?
We still talking about cuffing?
I've done a lot of therapy.
Yes.
It was at one point in time, I think maybe my breakup happened on a Tuesday. I was in to see a counselor on a Saturday. And some people wouldn't recommend that. But I just knew that the pain was very severe, and I knew that it would potentially hinder me from becoming the person that I wanted to become. I could tell that when that moment happened, I felt stripped of like my genuineness, because I'm very genuine, but I felt like that was taken advantage of. And so I missed things because I'm always like believing the best about people, and you know, like what should this be like, or how can things be, you know? And I'm always looking, like, I'm futuristic, so I'm always looking to the future and whatever. So I've done a lot of therapy, but God is so funny. I've done a significant amount of therapy. At one point, I was doing it twice a week, and I loved my therapist because sometimes we would just sit on the phone, and we wouldn't even talk, and I would just cry, and she'd just sit on the phone. Everything is going to be fine, and everything's going to be fine. Just very caring and nurturing. But the Holy Spirit is so funny because now that I'm in a relationship, things that I thought that I had worked out through therapy, there's still a little residue there.
Yeah.
And so it means so much to me, who is so patient with allowing me to continue to grow, because these things will come up and they'll rear their heads. Things that I thought were normal in my past relationship, you know, just from the way that I grew up. But now I see it in a different way, and I'm like, whoa, that's so manipulative. That's me being manipulative. That's me trying to be controlling. That's me trying to be God in a relationship where I'm asking God to intervene, but my hand is here, so he can't even do anything.
Yes.
You know, so I think it's just people have to be receptive to always growing.
Yes.
You don't know anything. Even in my profession, y'all are really nice to me to make me feel like my vocabulary is extraordinary and I'm doing well. But when I talk to my boss, I tell her, hey, I'm coming in here, I don't know anything. I'm starting with a fresh mind where I'm ready to learn and to glean.
Pour into you.
Yes, and to receive, because when you go into places and you're high and mighty, and this goes into relationships too, you think that you know best. Everything is about how you feel when your feelings are not the facts. It's not the truth. This is how you feel, but what is the truth? And then when did you start believing something that's not the truth as being the truth? Like, you have to just be in a place of humility if you want to be in a healthy relationship.
Sister Stephanie, don't walk out this room without giving me that book, because I need that.
You know,
that take a very humble individual to recognize that, not come in boastful, because we can come in a relationship or any other atmosphere with a certain level of boastfulness in us, based on what we know about ourselves
or what we think we know about the situation.
Right, and it take a very humbling experience, humble person to recognize I don't know everything.
I think it also takes that you have to deny yourself to be able to feel someone else. I think a lot, and I'm not saying, when I say deny yourself, I'm not saying put yourself on a back burner, but if you're the only one feeling in the room, you're the only, you know everything, you haven't really given yourself a chance to feel.
There's no room to go, because you know it all.
Yeah, and to feel their experience. You're just gonna keep telling them about what you do.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah, and that's an insecure person.
Yes.
Like it shows itself as a person who is confident and exuberant, but in reality, this person feels very small
yes.
and they are insecure.
They are.
Yes.
They are. So
now let me ask a question to the therapist over here real quick.
You better hurry up before I ask my 15.
You went to a lot of therapy over your time, you speak of, and you think you've dealt with some things in your life, and they reappear when certain subjects or whatever come up. Do you ever get to a point where you say, I've dealt with it and it's not affecting me anymore, or those things are always going to be part of your life?
No, I think you get to a place where even if there's like an effect, it's not as big as it was previously. But there are some things in my life where I can see over time that I've progressed. And so whereas it would have ruffled others, it doesn't do that anymore. But then there may be a moment in time, maybe I'm in a season where I've been a little bit more down, so now I'm more, or a little more isolated, so now I'm more susceptible to being more triggered by that thing. But you have to be intentional about, nobody wants to feel like they're a bad person,
right.
So even when someone tells you that you've done something to them and you've wronged them, immediately we get defensive, right? That's our defense mechanism. We want to deflect, we want to intellectualize, we want to make it very general, we want to do displacement, practice all these things to protect the ego, because the ego doesn't want to be weak and the ego doesn't want to feel like it did anything wrong. But a person who can step outside of their ego when the ego arises and say, hey, hold on, let me protect you. You can put that down and say, well, maybe there's an area where I've misstepped. I had a friend check me just a couple days ago. I thought something was funny and she was like, hey, and we got together. She said, hey, that wasn't, I would like for you not to say that, because that wasn't funny to me. And I said, oh, I'm so sorry.
Yes.
But I could have been like, well, I feel like you're taking things too serious. Right. Immediately, I could have been the ego.
But you felt her pain. Intentionally did.
Absolutely.
But the good thing is that she expressed it, because she could have walked away from you saying, you know what? That person I thought Stephanie was is really not her.
Absolutely.
So I commend your friend.
Can I ask her one question? We only got 10 minutes left for her.
Look at you watching this. Only 10
Stop
minutes.
it, Tiffany.
No, I do want to ask you one question though. So do you feel like if both people in a relationship, if one person gets therapy and the other one does not, do you feel like that relationship can still be successful?
Ooh, that was deep there.
Okay. I do.
You do? Okay.
Now, okay. And I'll say this, I feel like there are other forms or other ways that people can grow and evolve and have this self-realization. Maybe that person is listening to podcasts. Maybe that person is going to church, but they're not necessarily going to therapy. But there will come a point in time where you'll get to the fork in the road and you'll notice that y'all are still going the same way for a while, but at some point they're going to start to notice how you're changing, and then that's going to show them that they aren't. And so that's when the split is going to happen, but I also believe in giving people the opportunity and the permission to choose for themselves. We need to have that autonomy. We need to be able to have that self-governing where we say, this is what I choose to do. And we're not manipulated by someone else, to go and do something because they're telling me this is what's best for me. No, I need to have a realization and a power in my life where I say, this is what's actually best for me.
Wow.
And see, only on Love and Victory show with Val, you can get all this for free advice, free life-changing topics that take place on this show, man. And we so gratified and grateful to have our very
I have a question. I can't.
Well, you don't want to end it right now?
I know. I'm not going to. I can't. So I can't. So when you hit that fork in the road, what does that look like? How is it? Just what is that?
Yeah.
What is the fork?
There's like
that's a choosing.
Wait, I want to hear from the. I don't want
Wait. I'm the unlicensed counselor here on the show.
I'm not fully licensed. I can't see. Let me make it clear. I can't see clients till next month.
Okay.
But I can tell you, the fork is a decision making point in your life.
Yeah.
You have the right to choose which way you're going to go.
Yes.
Okay.
And you know you've gotten to the fork in the road.
Yeah.
When you feel that contingency within yourself.
Mhm.
There's this unrest within yourself.
Mhm.
You know for a fact that the season has changed. Something is different. And now you need to make a decision.
Make a decision.
And that decision is pivotal. I tell people that all the time.
Yes.
It is imperative that you make a conscious decision, that you wake up, you come to your realization of where you actually are, what is the reality of that situation, and you don't make that decision from an emotional place, but you make that decision from a conscious place, a confident place, because that is going to be the reason either pulled back into a whole old habit and an old lifestyle, or you're actually developing the life that you actually want for yourself.
Did y'all that? Now that's okay.
Now, like this, that's a place where you say, I'm going to either continue going the way I'm going, or I'm going to choose to go a different direction in which God has put in my life where I want to go.
Okay.
And so that's what the fork means. The fork means that I'm going to choose a different direction, or I'm going to travel in the same direction.
And
that's free advice too. And I'm unlicensed right now, but I
So
have my license.
you know what?
I got my license in theology with the Lord Himself. I did not go to theological school or anything like that. I did get my license from the Bible Himself.
Okay, and you know what? You are licensed to speak on it, and he is right. So I'm gonna ask this question, and I know we have wrapped this thing up, but I got to ask this question. So when you meet the fork in the road, the decision making point in your life, and you're hopeful, you're at that place, and you're hopeful that the people around you that you want to travel that road with you, that you're going, you hope they're there too. But if they're not there, how do you have that conversation with them? What do you do? What do you do to have that?
Well, let me answer this for you right quick. When you at the fork of the road of life, it does not matter what other people tend to do or go with you or not.
Come on.
That decision is based solely on the individual.
So
it has nothing to do with somebody else, whether they're going to travel with me or not. Yes. That fork in the road is for you, not nobody else.
Take up your cross and walk.
And Brother Carter gave y'all words of wisdom. Let me tell you, if this has not been a show for the books, I don't know what have been.
And keep in mind, we're in the cuffing season. We're talking about cuffing. I know we start talking about forks in the road and all this kind of stuff, but the fork in the road and all that kind of stuff, it plays into cuffing.
Yes.
You have a decision to make who you're going to be cuffed.
It happens after the cuffing.
Yeah.
So
you know what you're dealing with in life. Everybody, you know what? Everyone knows what's wrong with them personally.
This is true.
But nobody want to recognize the wrong that's in them. When we start, I know I'm getting off the subject a little bit.
That's okay,
but when we start recognizing who we are, whom we are as individuals, and you know what you have to do.
Just do it.
In life, versus you go to a therapist or you don't go to a therapist. Well, you know if you need to go to church or not. You know if you need to be with a certain person or not. You know that you need to take a bath. I'm just saying. You know if you overweight, you know you overweight. You know you need to do something about that if you feeling some kind of way about your overweightness.
Right.
You know you need to start exercising. I mean, you know, you have high blood pressure. You have high blood pressure. You know you need to do something about it, but you choose not to. And I'm talking to myself. I'm preaching to myself right now. And you know what you have to do as an individual. That's all I'm trying to say. And people stop trying to make other people your problem and issues in life. You are your own responsibility. You are your own right or wrong in life.
Oh, that hurt.
And so recognize who you are, and then you can live a better life for yourself versus trying to live a life for somebody else.
Oh, and this was the Love and Victory show name.
Cuffing
The cuffing season.
You know what? They about to go crazy over on this board. They done gave me several countdowns. I haven't been listening because I didn't want to turn it off. But before I go, we're gonna let Tiffany and Steph give a quick, and I can call her Steph. That's my Steph. So we're gonna let them give a quick goodbye. You always do, and then we're gonna wrap this thing up. Go ahead, Ms.
Well, I think we're gonna also continue, if I'm mistaken.
No,
not
baby.
on air.
No, baby.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. Go ahead,
your thing.
Go ahead.
I'm the co-host. Here I am trying to take over the.
Thank you. All right.
Carter, you see how little your picture is on that thing?
Okay.
Stop trying to act like you the big picture on the thing. Sit down somewhere.
Okay, Steph.
Like a little short fella trying to get in a big truck. Look like he go and sit down, brother. Cool, Lord.
Y'all, let me just say this is every Saturday. So if you are enjoying this conversation, they cut up like this every week. But I just want to say thank you to my parents for having me.
Hey, man.
This is so awesome. This is so fun. If you use social media, you can find me on all platforms at official Stephanie Alexis. And my takeaway for today would be picky about who you cuff with, because we all know what not being picky gets you.
Woo. Okay. Right. And I'm going to turn real quickly over here to Miss Tiffany Washington. Go ahead.
I just want to say this was an amazing show. Every time I come, it's always for me. Y'all don't even understand. It literally be for me on a decision-making day. So I am so grateful for this topic today. I enjoyed spending time with you all in here. I'm so happy that I finally Stephanie, and I can't wait to come back.
All right.
All righty. And Brother Carter.
I'm gonna end the show. Thank y'all for viewing and listening to the show, the Love and Victory Show with Val. I want to also remind you guys that today is Raise the Praise 100 radio-thon taking place today. And I told you earlier that we like you guys for this hour that we're on the radio to be the highest donor hour to the radio platform. So please go to Raise the Praise. That's www.raisethepraise.com.
RaiseThePraise100.com.
Yeah. Amen. Thank you for that. RaiseThePraise100.com. And go into that web page, go into that site, and we want you guys to make a generous contribution within the Love and Victory Show with Val hour. Okay. Yes. Okay. We don't want you to wait the Ike on the mic to get on there, and I want you to do it when he get on and yielding and all the rest of them come on. But we want the Love and Victory Show with Val to be the highest raising entity on this radio platform. So please go to www.raisethepraise100.com and make your generous contribution.
You can listen to us every Saturday morning from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. on the Love and Victory Show with Val.
We're on YouTube. We're on Facebook. You can follow us on all of our socials, LV with Val.
We love you. And
thank y'all for tuning in to the show every Saturday. We love you. God bless you. Until the next time.
Bye.